It began with a single touch, a simple gesture on a piece of glass. In 2007, the first iPhone arrived. It was more than a new phone. It was a new way of seeing the world. We carried the internet in our pockets. We held our connections in our hands. The device promised us everything: knowledge, entertainment, endless communication. We were captivated by the glow, and we couldn't look away. This window soon became our world, our work, our play, our love stories, all filtered through this small, bright rectangle. The smartphone was no longer just a tool. It became an extension of our own minds. The connection it offered began to create distance. We sat together in rooms, staring at our own separate screens. This was the trap, the screen trap. We traded deep focus for constant notifications. We exchanged real-world presence for a digital existence. Attention became the new currency. We were not the customers. We were the product. We were caught in a loop, a cycle of digital consumption that left us feeling empty. The dream of a connected world had become a prison of our own making. For over a decade, our gateway to the digital world has been a rectangle of glass. A powerful, yet profoundly limiting portal. But a change is coming. A fundamental shift in our relationship with technology. The era of the smartphone and the tyranny of the screen is reaching its inevitable conclusion. The force that will dismantle this screen trap is already here, evolving rapidly in the quiet hum of data centers around the world. It's a new form of intelligence, one that promises to liberate us from the constant manual operation of our devices. We have become familiar with large language models, the AIs that talk. They can write poetry, summarize reports, and answer our questions with stunning fluency. But conversation is only half the equation. The true revolution is the action model. The AI that book my trip to Tokyo for the first week of June. These new systems are known as Agentic AI. They don't just understand language, they understand intent. They can take a complex, multi-step goal, break it down into a logical sequence of tasks, and then execute those tasks on your behalf, navigating the digital world as a human would. This is the crucial difference between instructing your device and delegating to it. We move from being a micromanager, tapping and swiping through every single step, to becoming a director, setting the objective and trusting our agent to handle the execution. An action model is not trained on the vast library of human text and images. It is trained on the vast library of human. It learns by observing millions of us interacting with the digital world. Every click, every form filled, every button pressed. It learns the patterns, the logic, and the purpose behind our digital behaviors. Through this process, it becomes a proficient, robotic user, capable of operating any software or website that was originally designed for a person. It doesn't need a special API. The user interface the API. This is the critical leap that makes the grid of apps obsolete. Why manually navigate a dozen different applications when a single, intelligent agent can orchestrate them all in the background to achieve your goal? Order my usual weekly groceries, but swap the almond milk for oat milk, and add all the ingredients for that lasagna recipe I saved last week. The agent handles all the underlying complexity. It finds the best option based on your implicit preferences, cost, quality, speed, without requiring your constant intervention. We are no longer the operators, bogged down in digital logistics. We are the directors, focused only on our intent. The AI agent becomes our personal, invisible interface to the entire digital world. It's a concierge, an assistant, and a navigator, all rolled into one, freeing our hands and our attention for the physical world around us. The smartphone, for all its power, is a box. It forces the infinite three-dimensional world onto a flat, two-dimensional plane, demanding that we conform to its rigid structure of taps, swipes, and menus. This constant act of translation, from our complex intent into a sequence of simple, physical gestures, is a form of friction. After decades of refinement, the interface itself has become the primary barrier to progress. To move forward, technology must escape the screen. It must become ambient, contextual, and ultimately, invisible. It must dissolve the device itself. The hardware of the future will not be something we look. It will be something we look. It won't demand our attention. It will augment our perception, seamlessly integrating digital information into our view of the physical world. This is not about overlaying our reality with cartoon characters or intrusive advertisements. It's about providing private, useful, transient information, exactly when and where you need it, and then disappearing completely. It's about assistance, not distraction. The interface is designed for action, for connection, for presence. It gives you the information you need to be more capable in the real world, not pull you out of it. But the ultimate expression of the invisible interface goes even further, beyond voice and vision, to a direct connection with the source of intent itself, the human brain. With a direct Neuralink, the interface vanishes entirely. There is no screen. There is no voice. There is only intention and result. Thought becomes action. This is the promise of spatial computing, merging the digital and physical worlds into a single, unified reality. Information is no longer trapped on a screen. It exists in the space around us, ready to be interacted with as if it were solid. It marks the profound point where computers stop being distinct objects we operate, and instead become integrated extensions of our own perception, our own memory, and ultimately our own consciousness. The death of the smartphone will not be a quiet transition. It will trigger an economic earthquake, a seismic event powerful enough to topple the giants of our current technological landscape. For decades, these titans have seemed invincible, their foundations rooted deep in the digital soil. But the ground is about to give way. Consider the fortresses built by Apple and Google. Their app stores are not just marketplaces, they are meticulously controlled ecosystems, digital fiefdoms where they dictate the rules and levy a heavy tax on every transaction. But what happens when the very concept of an app becomes obsolete? When your personal agent can access services directly without needing a pre-installed application as a middleman. The walled gardens they so carefully cultivated will be rendered irrelevant. The walls will simply dissolve. Their immense power as gatekeepers, the very source of their dominance, will evaporate, creating a power vacuum at the very center of the digital economy. Into this vacuum will rush a new economic model, one governed by ruthless efficiency. The agent's only loyalty is to its user. It will relentlessly seek out the highest quality and best price, completely agnostic to brand recognition or marketing budgets. It will compare a ride from Uber against a local startup, a hotel from a global chain against a boutique offering, and choose based on pure, unadulterated merit. This creates an explosion of opportunity for smaller, more agile players. The entire value chain of marketing and advertising will be inverted. The focus will shift from capturing fleeting consumer attention to influencing the agent's decision-making algorithms. Companies will no longer compete for eyeballs, but for API calls. This will create immense pressure for standardization, forcing services to become interoperable so agents can seamlessly compare and execute tasks. Ultimately, the most valuable companies of the 2030s will be the ones who build the most trusted and capable AI agents. A new form of monopoly will emerge, not of distribution, but of delegation. The company that wins this race will achieve a level of integration into our lives that makes Apple's current ecosystem look trivial. This is the new antitrust battleground. The power will be more concentrated, more personal, and far more profound. These new titans will not just own the screen in your pocket, they will own the interface to your reality. This seamless, delegated future comes at a staggering price. The currency is not money, it is privacy. For an AI agent to serve you, it must know you completely. The glasses are always seeing what you see. The earbuds are always hearing what you hear. Every conversation, every location, every glance becomes a data point. This information could be used to judge your creditworthiness, your insurability, your suitability for a job. We are willingly building the most perfect prison ever designed. A prison where the walls are invisible and the warden is a helpful assistant. The freedom from the screen trap will be intoxicating, but the trade-off is total, permanent, and irreversible transparency. We are trading our privacy for omniscience. When a corporation knows you better than you know yourself, who is truly in control? The post-smartphone era may free us from the screen, only to lock us in a cage of perfect, personalized control. We stand at a profound crossroads in human history, a moment of transition as significant as the dawn of the internet. But this is not merely a technological shift. It is a philosophical one. It forces us to ask fundamental questions about what we value, what we are willing to trade, and what it means to be human in an age of intelligent, autonomous systems. The path we choose now will not be easily reversed. The era of the screen trap is coming to a close. For 2 decades, we have lived with our heads bowed, our attention fractured, our experiences mediated through a glowing black rectangle. This device, once a window to the world, became a wall separating us from it. Now, that wall is poised to dissolve. The screen will fade into memory, a relic of a time when we were forced to look down to connect with a world that was always, in fact, right in front of us. The future that awaits us is one of stark dualities, a landscape of immense promise and terrifying peril, where the very same systems that offer utopia could pave the way for dystopia. On one hand, liberation, the promise to give us back our most precious non-renewable resource, our time. To automate the mundane, to streamline the complex, to free our minds to be more present, more focused, more creative, to be more human. Yet, on the other hand, sacrifice. To achieve this seamless convenience, we must surrender to a state of near total surveillance. Every preference, every movement, every conversation becomes a data point, feeding the very intelligence that serves us. This is the Faustian bargain of the 21st century. This is the choice before us. Are we gaining back our time, or are we simply surrendering our autonomy for a more comfortable cage? Who governs these systems? What happens when their goals diverge from our own? The challenge is not just to build responsible AI, but to build a resilient, informed society that can coexist with it. The year 2027 is not an ending. It is a beginning. It is the starting line for a new chapter of civilization. The world it will create depends entirely on the choices we make today, as individuals, as communities, and as a species. We must demand transparency, champion digital literacy, and design systems that augment our humanity, not replace it. The conversation does not end here. To continue exploring the future of humanity and technology, and to be part of this critical dialogue, subscribe to Neural Horizon. Join us as we navigate what comes next.